Good morning, everyone. It's a little bit before 7 a.m. I'm going to do something a little different with my video today. I'm going to do a little kind of day in the life. I'm just waking up at Convict Lake. I'll tell you why I'm here and how I got here. And first order of business is to close my little sleeping window here. I get fresh air at night through here on my side window in my bed, and then gonna get up and make some coffee first thing. Put the bed away, so let's do that. My van has a permanently made bed, which I like, so I don't have to make the bed every night. Some people have a couple of tables back here, and then they have to take the table down and then make the bed and all that. I don't have that. It's just a retractable bed, so it makes more space in the day, and I don't have to put bump outs on the van and sleep horizontally. This works out well for me. I like it. So now as the bed's retracted, we got a little bit more room, and I want to show you this Webasto system. You can see the heaters on. I'm at Convict Lake near Bishop, California. It's 28 degrees Fahrenheit out this morning, which is very cold, so I've got the heater on low, and that keeps the van nice and cozy. It's like a thermostat at home. I don't have to think about it. It's just on all the time. First order of business is to fill up the kettle, and I use an electric kettle for my coffee in the morning, so I don't have to break out the butane stove. It's just a little easier, and I've got enough solar capacity to pull that off. I don't have a huge battery system. I think I've got like a couple of batteries totaling 3,000 amp hours, and a lot of these vans have up to over 1,000 if they have an air conditioner, which I don't, so I don't need that. Kettle works fine. I've got about 350 watts of solar on the roof, and I've got an auxiliary 160 watt panel which I can hook up. So I usually put my bitchin' Yeti cup on my kettle, pour in a little chocolate milk to make a poor man's mocha. I know the coffee connoisseurs are going to freak out, but just makes it a little sweeter and a little chocolatey. I like that. And the cup is on top here, so it gets kind of preheated. I just wait till the water's warm, do my pour over coffee, and we're good. All right, for this day of camping was a little bit stealth because I didn't know if camping was allowed here or not, and I'm definitely in kind of a parking lot, which I'll show you in a minute. That caused me to put up all my window covers, and you can see I have this dash cam that has front and rear. It's a wolf box. I leave that on at night, and if somebody does want to come and bother me, they can. And here you get the first view of Convict Lake and how gorgeous it is. A bit snowy out. It hasn't snowed in a while, but it's pretty snowy, but it's an absolutely stunning, gorgeous lake. And our first order of business today is to take a short walk out there, and I'll be able to show you the lake and who's still here in the parking lot. It was chock full last night. This morning it looks pretty quiet, and it's just gorgeous out. And you can see the time there, 7:01 a.m. I know some people say that coffee time is the best time of the day for them, and sad as it is, sometimes I don't have to argue that this is absolutely delicious. This is where the magic happens. I got my swivel seat. Here's my computer. I do some editing here. Normally I just use my phone to keep up with business, but when I'm on a computer, I'm usually editing. And on that topic, some people may be wondering about what's it like having a YouTube channel with, I think I have at this time just a little 5,000 subscribers. So obviously the YouTube channel doesn't pay for my trips, and my views are pretty low. So how do I make it work? Well, I'm basically retired, and I don't need to make money off of YouTube. That gives me a great advantage because a lot of people actually do need to make a living. It becomes very difficult. Nowadays, the gurus will tell you, oh, start a YouTube channel, you'll do great. Well, some people will, but 90% of the people won't. But I'm doing okay. I make videos because I like making videos. I really enjoy the process. I enjoy the whole process except for editing, which I kind of hate, and I don't make enough money to hire an editor. But that would probably be the long-term solution for me, is to do all the shooting, just hand over my footage to a good editor, let them do the dirty work. I try to do the best I can on my editing. I spend often 4 to 6 to 8 hours editing a video, and then it only gets a small number of views. It's definitely not worth it, but it's worth it because I enjoy making the videos. So that's why it works for me. So I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then we're gonna take a little walk. I'm gonna show you this incredible Convict Lake. It's an amazing lake, and I'll talk a little bit more about the history of it. The main focus is just to show you my morning routine, getting on the road, and today's a travel day. We're not necessarily gonna see sights along the way, but one of the things I like to do when I'm traveling is finding cool places to camp. And I did not realize I could camp here, and maybe you're not supposed to, but I've gotten away with it. It's morning. I haven't gotten the dreadful knock, so cheers. All right, folks, behind me you see the area where I camped. That's my van there. There's another RV there. This guy talking to the car, I think they camped as well. And then there's just a few more. Now, last evening, this lot was completely full with just tourists, just people coming up to see this beautiful lake. And trust me, it is gorgeous. Look at that. What a lovely morning. This is the boat launching facility, and you can see camping and wood fires prohibited around lake, but I don't know if we're considered to be around the lake right now. But I'm going to talk more about the camping in a minute, but look at the reflection of Mono Gym. It's so incredible. And it's got a little kind of little harbor thing to keep the water calm here. And that big peak there, that's Morrison Peak. It looks smaller in the video, but it's much farther away. So while you're taking in the view, I just want to tell you a quick story about Convict Lake. You might ask,
Why is it called Convict Lake? Well, there's a very good reason. It was something else before that, I think Rainer Canyon or Rainer Lake or something, and it was renamed Convict Lake in 1929. The reason for that happened though back in 1871, and a group of inmates escaped from a prison in Carson City. There was a sheriff, George Hightower, put together a posse to chase these guys down. They caught up with them down in what is Convict Creek now, and there was a shootout, and two of the posse dudes were killed, and one of them was Mono Jim, and that's the name of that peak, and the other one was Jim Morrison. Do I have those names right? I'll correct them down below if I don't. That peak is called Mono Jim. This one is called Morrison Peak. And eventually they did catch him. They couldn't bring the two posse members back to life, but they named peaks after him instead. So there's actually a 3-mile hike around the lake here. And it's obviously completely snowed in on the other side, but we are on the north side of the lake, which gets the sun from the south. So the trail is passable, at least right here, but I don't know where it's gonna go, but we'll probably get another view of the lake, which I'll share with you. All right, so you might ask a perfectly valid question. How did I end up camping at Convict Lake? And the story is I was down in Joshua Tree, spent a bunch of days down there hiking and camping, stayed at the campgrounds because that's the only place you can stay there. But they're very nice, they're beautiful campgrounds in Joshua Tree. And now I'm driving back from San Diego back to Truckee. I decided to come up 395, which is a great drive. And I've always been curious about Convict Lake. It's a great place to visit in the summer because it's nice and cool. It's 7,800 feet here, which is about 2,400 meters, something like that. But I decided I'll check it out and see if I can visit in wintertime. And I didn't know if there'd be any camping here because I knew it'd be snowed in. So I decided to come up here and just have a look. And I found that parking lot. I checked out the parking lot pretty thoroughly. I didn't see any no camping signs. I saw a couple other people that looked like they might be camping there. So I decided to just do the stealth camping thing, which is totally self-contained. Put up the window shades, be quiet, don't set anything up outside of the van, and it worked out fine. I didn't get the dreaded knock, so that's pretty awesome. I don't know if it's legal or not, but there was nobody up here to bother me, so it was pretty awesome. Had a great night of sleep. It's nice and cozy in the van, even though it's very cold outside. Certainly pleasant enough, but this is just, I mean, as far as a morning view, I can't think of anything any better than this. So my camping style is, most of the time I prefer to boondock or disperse camp somewhere for free, BLM land, Forest Service land, or whatever. But I'm not opposed to paying for campgrounds if that's necessary. But something about boondock camping I really enjoy. And then the other thing I should note is that my camping and travel style is often freestyle. And what I mean by that is I don't know where I'm going to end up or where I'm going to camp. And that's why boondock camping is so cool, because you don't have to be anywhere. You can stop along the way and say, oh, this is a cool place, maybe I'll camp here. Whereas if you reserve a campground, which you often have to do these days because they're so full, then you're sort of committed to being at a certain place at a certain time. There are some first come, first served campgrounds, which that works out kind of best of both worlds. You get to stay in a campground, but you don't have to reserve it. Now, last night I got here with plenty of daylight left, so if I was unable to camp, I could have headed down the hill and found another place. And then this morning I definitely did not think I'd be able to take this walk. I don't know how far I'm going to get. It's kind of trampled, so it's a little slippery. I don't really have the right shoes on, but I'll see how far I can get. It's definitely frozen, so it's not wet. All right, so I've been able to hike a lot further than I expected, and you can see the sun is starting to come up on Morrison Peak there. You also note that I'm almost to the far end of the lake. There's no snow on the ground right here, so it's been off and on snow, and where there is snow, there's kind of a beaten path, so I think I'll probably make it to the far end of the lake, or near it. And here's looking back. See the sun just about to peak up over there. It's a beautiful morning. Ran into a guy taking pictures over there. Wow, look at this gorgeous tree. I think it's some kind of juniper. It's a very nice tree. It might be a ponderosa, but it's not growing very straight. That might be because of the conditions, but it's really nice. And then there's some more trees across the way that are growing quite straight. All right, if you look right here, I think earlier this peak right here was blocking this peak here, and I think I was calling this Mono Jim, but presumably this larger one behind it is the real Mono Jim. And it's starting to light up in the sun, and then of course over to the right, this is Morrison. All right, folks, I think this is the end of the line for me. I'm almost to the end of the lake here, but it gets considerably more snowy. I don't know if you can make it around. There may be a trail punched all the way around, but it's 100% snowy on the shadowy side, so I'm definitely not interested in doing that, but it's just a gorgeous morning. Look at this. The sun's just starting to peek over the cliff over there. It's gonna start warming up. It's been a wonderful hike. And there you see the rest of the trail and a nice shot of Morrison Peak there. Here's the view from the outlet toward the peaks. Some ducks out there. Here's the outlet. You can see it's flowing pretty good. And there's another view of the parking lot where I'm camped, and this is the bridge over the outlet, and you can see there's a bunch of people parked up here. There's some bathrooms. I came in yesterday afternoon, which was a Saturday, and all these spots were taken. There was tons of people everywhere, and I think that'll happen today again probably. It's just a busy place, even in the wintertime. Okay, this shows the end of the road here. I guess in the summer there's day use parking up there, and that sign says no overnight parking, but it doesn't say that down below. So, and here's the view of the lake from here, and this is a bunch of people getting ready to go on a backcountry ski tour. And I just noticed there's an accessible trail there. It gives the specs on the blurb, so if you are in a wheelchair, there's a short thing you can do, and it does say that it's paved, so that's pretty cool, and minimum 5 feet wide. Obviously, if you want to come up here and have a little hike in a wheelchair, you can do that. So now it's time for me to head back to the van, maybe make some breakfast, or I could roll down the hill and find another place with a view to have breakfast. I might do that, although it's pretty nice right here. Maybe I'll do it here. Have a little breakfast here, and then we'll get on the road and see what's next besides heading back. All right, folks, so now that I've had my little morning hike, it's time for breakfast, and I kind of, not too creative, I pretty much have the same thing every day, which is granola with a banana, maybe a little bit of almond butter, some blueberries, and some yogurt. That's a good healthy breakfast. And then once in a while I'll treat myself to a breakfast burrito with beans and eggs, avocado slices, and that's pretty good. So that's my typical breakfast. Cheers. Next I do the dishes in the van, which is a really easy chore because I got a sink. It's nice and toasty in here. Get everything put away, and then we'll get on the road. Okay folks, it's 10 minutes after 9. We got a morning hike in, and it's now time to get on the road. Let's get rolling out of here and check out the drive going down. It's actually pretty nice, and we're off. Well, I should point out, it seems like a lot of the winter activity is backcountry skiing. So the people that are here now are the backcountry skiers, actually.
As we leave the lake, you can see the boats stored on the left there with the blue covers for the winter. And then we work our way further down the hill, and you can see the valley down below. And then we make it almost to the junction of Highway 395.
All right, folks, I'm right down at the junction of Convict Lake Road and Highway 395. I did a little pull out here. There's a little bit of reception here, so I'm catching up on social media and email, and I've got a video that I just edited last night and finished. I'm starting to upload that. It's in the back of the van. I've just connected it to the hotspot. So as I'm driving, getting reception, I'll be uploading that video, and then I can do the finishing touches on that and get the new video uploaded. And that video is from a few days ago, a hike I did at Joshua Tree, and that was the Skull Rock hike. So we'll get that posted. And then, as I said, the goal is to make it to Truckee. I've got plenty of time to do that. And so I'm just gonna stop along the way. Any place I see interesting that I wanna stop and hang out. Maybe Mono Lake, we'll see what's going on there. So let's get rolling.
All right, folks, as we get on the road, we see the beautiful Mount Ritter and Banner Peak. Ritter's 13,143 feet, while Banner Peak is 12,936 feet.
All right, folks, you can see these beautiful mountains here. We are just now passing the June Lake Loop southern entrance. It's just to my left here, and that's a highly recommended route to take. There's great camping there in the summertime. It's a beautiful drive, and it's also a great bicycle ride because the traffic's going much slower. But this is just a fantastic, beautiful area. And we are north of Bishop and south of Lee Vining, so it's in that stretch there. And the big mountain around here is the Mount Dana, and you can hike up there from Tioga Pass. And that's just a wonderful hike. Can't remember which one it is. It might be that one straight ahead there with a pointy tip on it, or it might be this one to the left. I'm not sure which one it is. But anyway, Mount Dana is a fantastic hike. And we're also coming on some camping that I've done in this area before near Mono Lake, which is fabulous. I forget what it's called, but there's some volcanic rocks that are gorgeous. And while I'm on the subject of camping, I just want to pass along one thing I think I forgot to mention earlier, and that is that, you know, we camped last night at Convict Lake. It was fantastic. Stayed in the parking lot, stayed self-contained, and it worked out fine. But I'm not saying that it's legal. It may not be legal. In my case, there just wasn't anybody to enforce it, so nobody bothered me. If you go there, don't assume that it's legal. Check first, or just take your chances like I did. All right, so Mono Lake is just coming into view now, right over that away. In the wintertime, this area is so gorgeous. It's an absolutely wonderful drive. A lot of people don't take it. It's a great time to drive this. Summer's great too. Winter, it just has a special beauty with the snow. It's pretty fantastic. One of these roads right here to the, maybe this one to the right, it's actually all snowed in. It's not open in the wintertime. But that's where I've camped in the summertime. It's absolutely beautiful. but I'm thinking it might be down here lower. So let me just check and I'll let you know. But in the summertime, you can go in and camp in these areas. It's pretty nice. It's near Mono Lake, but you can also camp closer to Mono Lake. But I think it's going to be snowed in today, so we're probably not going to be able to roll in there and check it out, although I'd like to. But we'll definitely take in the view of Mono Lake from the Conway Summit, I believe. Conway Summit has a beautiful overlook, and it's gorgeous in the wintertime. Although as we get down lower, you can see that there's less snow here in the valley. And I think my camping area might actually be down here at the bottom of this grade. So let me see. Oh yeah, I think it is. I think I see it. There's nobody up me chuff. I'm gonna maybe try to turn in here and see if I can get in here and so I can show you this area a little bit. Yeah, I think this is it. So we're gonna take a right here. Nobody behind me, we're okay. Yeah, there's snow on this road. So let me just show you this area. All right, so here's the road. There's enough snow for me to worry about it a little bit. I don't feel like getting stuck just for the sake of showing you, but if you look straight ahead, you can see these volcanic rocks here, and it's just a beautiful place to camp. We're like, as the crow flies, maybe a couple of miles from Mono Lake, but it's a gorgeous place to camp, and this is definitely legal boondock camping. So I've been here maybe twice, and I would absolutely do it again. It's a great place to stop if you're traveling and you want to camp. All right, so I'm just now passing the north entrance to the June Lake Loop, and it says road closed. So I'm not sure if it's closed in the wintertime. I thought it was open, or maybe it's just partially open and there's a closed section, but I'm pretty sure you can go in from either end, at least part ways. There's something I've got to photograph here. Hopefully I can get a place to turn out. There's that old cabin there that I photographed before. It's really gorgeous, and with the snow, it's just an incredible opportunity that I don't want to miss. Let's see if we can pull off the road here. I think, oh yeah. Look at that cabin, folks. This is incredible. All right, folks, we're just passing the junction to Yosemite Tioga Pass, and a place not to miss is just up the road. It's like a quarter mile up there. There's a place called the Whoa Nelly Deli, and it's a mobile station, so you can get gas there, but you can also hit the deli, and it's world famous. It's a really amazing deli. Great food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. They have live music in the summer usually. If you're hungry and you're coming through here, be sure to stop. I would have stopped there. I didn't think about it till now, but if I did, I probably would have skipped breakfast and just grabbed it there, but not feeling the hunger thing right now, so that's how it goes. Now we're just rolling through Lee Vining, and I'm spacing out here and going way too fast because this is a little bit of a speed trap, so go slow when you're going through Lee Vining, but it's a really charming little town. If you're a hotel person and not a camper, then there's numerous hotels here, but don't buy your gas here. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And as you leave town, there's this ranger station, the Mono Basin National Forest Visitor Center, and you can get wilderness passes there, and you can also get a lot of information about Mono Lake, which is pretty handy. They probably have maps and can give you advice on places to visit around Mono Lake, because there's a lot you can do. There's some four-wheeling you can do on the other side of the lake. There's some easier dirt roads you can go. You can boondock camp in there. You can check out the tufas, and the sightseeing is fantastic. I'm going to show you some tufas if I can, out the window there. Don't try this at home. There's an access road here to Mono Lake, and just for yucks and giggles, I think we're just going to cruise down here and then show you that you can get to here. And it's more of a summertime thing because the trails are kind of closed right now, I think, but you can still catch a good view of tufas here. Some over that away, and then of course there's some kiosks here with some information, and there's a little Iron Ranger thing, so I think they want to charge you to park here, so let's go just check it out now. All right, folks, so now we're heading up to Conway Summit. I don't know if you can see Mono Lake out the window, but this is a beautiful viewpoint. In the wintertime, it's going to be extra special. As you can see, we're dealing with a double yellow, and I'm not sure that we can get across. This guy up here has decided to just pull over on the right, but I think I'd like to go to the real pullout. That may mean that we have to shoot beyond it and then circle back. This is the pullout right here, and in order to turn around again, I think we're going to have to go way down, but I think I'm going to do it just so I can show you, because it's going to be extra special this time of year. So we got to go up to the summit, find a left turn, and turn around and come back. So let's do that.
We continue a couple of miles past the Conway Summit lookout and get to this junction where we can turn left. It's the Virginia Lakes Road, and from there we'll whip a U-turn and head back down the hill to the Conway Summit lookout. This is an incredible lookout with views of Mono Lake down below us. It's a great place to stop, have a picnic, and just scan the beauty of this area. It's truly unbelievable. Bodie, California. This is one of the most best preserved ghost towns in the entire world, and it's definitely worth a visit if you have the time. But unfortunately, some fool was pulled over by the highway patrol before we got there.
Alrighty folks, we're rolling into Bridgeport. This is another charming east side little town. There's some good places to eat. This place on the right, the barn, I think is known to have pretty good burgers. There's a bakery there, various restaurants, plenty of hotels. There's the old Bridgeport Inn on the left there. There's this old, what is this, county building here on the right. Pretty cool. And then this hotel here, the Silver Maple, is known to be a pretty nice old classic place. But the one thing I would say is don't buy your gas here. It's around $6 here. Yeah, $5.99 for regular, $6.89, almost $7 for diesel. Because we're gonna go through Nevada on $3.95, and the gas in Nevada is like $2-3 per gallon cheaper. So what you want to do is try to time your gas stop so that you gas up in Nevada. If you need to gas up in California, maybe only buy enough gas to get you to the gas station in Nevada, which is going to be likely Gardnerville. So I kind of blew it because I still have most of a tank right now. We don't have that far to go. But either way, I'm always top off in Nevada because it's so much cheaper. So that's kind of our next stop. We're going to get over Dead Man Summit up ahead. That's another small summit. And then we're going to pass the Sonora Pass turnoff. These passes are closed in the wintertime, Sonora, Tioga. After Dead Man Summit in Sonora, we go through a little town of Walker, which is a really cool place. I've stayed there before. It's kind of a fisherman's kind of place because the Walker River is nearby. Then we're going to go into Nevada, past Topaz Lake, and then into Gardnerville, and then into Carson City, and then we'll head up over Spooner Summit over to Lake Tahoe. All right, folks, so here we are in the Walker River Canyon. It is just north of the turnoff to Sonora Pass, which is one of the most beautiful passes on the planet. And this long downhill along the Walker River takes us into the town of Walker. This river is known for fishing. It's a great fishing spot. The fishermen come here more in the season, not right now. And right now it's extremely low. You can see these rocks up near the side here, and it comes up on this bank, and in the spring it's absolutely gushing when the snow's melting. But it's February right now and that's not happening, so it's pretty low. It's a beautiful river. But what I'm going to do now is have some lunch, and then if I have reception, I'm going to upload that video because it's uploaded to YouTube now. I just need to do all the other stuff, and love to get it uploaded now during the middle of the day so that by evening people are, if they're going to watch it, they'll watch it. But it's a hike on Joshua Tree, on the Skull Rock Trail, Face Rock Trail, Split Rock Trail. It's a beautiful hike. We'll see how it does. But let me show you what I'm going to do for lunch here. It's pretty simple. Hop in the van. All right, folks, so lunch today is kind of more of a snack, really. We've got some of these harvest snaps, which we shall enjoy thoroughly. And the other thing we have is some sushi from the Albertsons, which I bought when I was down in San Diego, and there's still some left. So sushi and harvest snaps is going to be what we're going to have for lunch. You don't have to watch me eat them. I was thinking about that, and it just reminded me of what I'm noticing a lot these days on YouTube. You see these women are talking, doing their talking head video about whatever subject they want to cover, and they're sitting there doing their makeup, and the whole thing is like they're right in the camera doing their makeup, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with that? But anyway, that's what I get for being old. So I'm going to eat this, and I got another task I got to do on here. Decided to set up the chair for my little roadside lunch here. Pretty awesome view. And I hope you can hear the stream. It's not super loud, but it's very pleasant to sit here and listen to it and have lunch. There was no internet reception at our lunch stop, so I'm going to head into the town of Walker and see if I can upload my video there. Or not upload my video, it's already uploaded. I just need to do all the other stuff. Upload the thumbnail and all the text and title and description and all that stuff. But I do need internet reception for that. So that's what we're going to do. I could just pull over in Walker, but I might go, there's a county park or a city park, pretty nice. I might just go there. I've just got to sit in my van anyways. Doesn't really matter where, but that's what we'll probably do next. All right, folks, so good news. We got 3 bars of LTE, which is going to be plenty for me to finish this video and get it posted. And then from Walker, we're going to head into Nevada, Topaz Lake, Gardnerville, Carson City, and back over to Tahoe. So that's the schedule for the rest of the day. It's 12:35 p.m., so we should have plenty of time to get to Truckee before dark and take our time and enjoy the ride. All right, folks, so I just spent like about an hour or maybe a little more doing 2 thumbnails. I like to do the A/B thing, and then just doing the rest of the upload. So it's a little time consuming. I'm going to show you one of the thumbnails, see if it makes you want to watch the video. We'll see. But this is it. It'll show up on the So this is my video about the Skull Rock, Split Rock, Face Rock hike. So hopefully that'll arouse some curiosity and make people want to watch it. Anyway, our next plan now is to continue driving north. All right, folks, so we're rolling into Gardnerville, and there's diesel right there for $3.49 a gallon. And in Bridgeport, it was $6.89 a gallon. So that's over $3 difference. Now, it's not quite a fair comparison because Bridgeport's a smaller town. However, even if you go to a comparable place in California, it's going to be probably $5.49. So it's at least $2 different. That's why I always recommend to try to roll into Nevada with a low tank and then do a full fill. And even if you have a partial tank, don't just wait and say, oh, I'll just get it when I'm back in California, because you're going to pay a lot more. So go ahead and fill her up.
Most of the gas stations in Gardnerville are a similar price, so I just stopped at one that I've stopped at before and went ahead and started pumping some diesel.
Now, another thing I do is I always write down the date, the mileage, the cost, and where I am. So I'll put down Gardnerville here. And the reason I do that is because then I have a log of my travels. And that way I can look back and say, oh, when was I in such and such a place? And then I have a record of it. I already know the mileage. The Sprinter gets up to 20 on just a flat highway, and then a normal rolling trip it might get 15 to 18, and then if you do a lot of stop and go, a lot of hilly stuff, it gets pretty bad because it's a big heavy vehicle, but otherwise it's pretty decent. The diesel makes a big difference. Now I always put this Diesel Extreme stuff in. That's this stuff here, and I also put a little bit of this stuff too, and you squeeze it until you get your proper amount, and you throw it in here. So a little octane booster, injection cleaner, and diesel treatment. Seems like it goes a long way. It doesn't cost that much, so I like to do that. And you normally put that in before you put in your fuel, but if I forget, then it doesn't really matter. It gets mixed up anyway. All right, so now we're fueled up in Nevada. From Gardnerville, we head to Carson City, and from there, we're gonna head over to Lake Tahoe. It's not that pretty through here, but I'll show you some footage as we go through Lake Tahoe from Spooner, because it's actually really pretty gorgeous. Can't remember how I'm supposed to get out of here. I think I'm supposed to go around the back. All right, folks, well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you coming along for the ride. I've never done a video that's just kind of a day in my van life of traveling, so this is something a little bit different for me. Didn't really think that anybody would really enjoy it, but if you did, I think that's great.
From Carson City, we turn left and head up to Spooner Summit, and then we pass by the beautiful sand harbor along the east shore of Lake Tahoe.
I'm rolling into Truckee now. It's not even 4 p.m. yet, so it was a nice day of travel where I had the opportunity to make a few stops. So I think that made it more interesting, because sometimes I'm just trying to beeline to get to a location, but in this case that wasn't necessary, so it made it a little bit more relaxing. We got to see some things along the way. I'm currently coming down from Conway Summit on Highway 267 past North Star Ski Area, and I'll be rolling into Truckee and then heading up to my place there. So anyway, once again, thanks for coming along. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching.